Welcome to the Urban Shorts Podcast, bite-sized literary fiction by yours truly. This week's story, Kris Kringle, Homicide. The night was on fire, pulsating rhythmically like the crackle of an open flame, hiding the town's evil. Not even Rudolph could shed his abnormal crimson light on what's really inside the hearts of men. Not that I care. Brains, spirits, and souls can go fuck themselves with the never-ending dildo of disregard until they realize that they can't make a baby that way. Actions speak louder than ill-timed threats, and the sword will cut the pen in half and the smug prick holding it. And then that's where I come in. I pull to the curb in my light blue 54 convertible, park, and step out. A warehouse looms over me, but the walk wins me before I even hit the scene. Really should quit smoking, or drinking, or at least eat better. It's killing me too slowly. I need to speed things up. An eclectic mix of officers, deputies, and investigators buzz about like elves documenting a broken toy. A large man bites a donut as he cocks his head, taking in something indistinguishable on the ground. This is Detective Peter Dixon, who I like to call Triple Dick. The captain always said that if the potato, egg, and coffee all went into the water, this bastard will be the pot used to do the boiling. Whatever the fuck that means. "What have we got here?" I say, looking down at the item. "I'll tell you what we got," Dixon says, the crumbs that are not caught by his raggedy beard falling onto his protruding belly. "We've got selfish assholes that gotta go and get themselves killed on my day off." A candy cane lies in a bloody smudge next to the decal of a stripper. "What is this, a clue?" "A clue?" Triple Dick scoffs. "It's just a fucking piece of candy." "Yeah, a candy cane on the floor outside a crime scene in the middle of July. It's a clue." So, Dixon clears his throat. I really hate when he tries to connect. He's not good at it. "So, you're still here, huh? I'm guessing the missus is still up north?" "I don't want to talk about it." Inside the warehouse, we walk into a hallway, and that's when I see her. She had the type of legs that went all the way up until they made an ass of themselves. She wore a skirt that let the imagination believe was better than anything it held underneath. I stopped at midriff and turned around to the other wall. She had on a lacy black top that bordered between lingerie and nightclub wear. Her long blonde hair covered her face and ample bosoms. Poor girl. She was still wearing her name tag from work. Triple Dick finished his donut. "What do you think? Boyfriend got pissed when she said she had to split?" Dixon laughs. I don't. Between the top half of her body bolted to one wall and the bottom half bolted to the other wall behind me, her intestines were strung up like gory party streamers down the hallway. I guess my 4th grade biology teacher was right. There must be at least 15 feet of guts. "Do you see what I see?" I say. "It's Christmas themed." "Jesus Christ in the manger," Dixon says, to which I reply with a look. Sorry, but you see Christmas in everything. It's the off season. Come on, take a break. Help me solve a murder or two." "Think about it. That crime scene on 5th? What, where the guy had his head bashed in with that brick?" "It was a rock," I said, "next to some jingle bells." "Jingle Bell Rock?" That's a stretch," Dixon says. "And that double homicide last week with the DC character impersonators?" I say. "Now what the fuck would that have to do with Christmas?" Dixon says. "It was a dead Batman and Robin." "Yeah, next to another jingle bell and an egg. We were tipped off after Robin's death. The Batman had been dead for at least a week. Oh, yeah, that was rank. Jingle bells. Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Maybe, Dixon says, still not fully on board. What about this poor sliced open dame right here? Look at the name tag. Dixon approaches and reads the girl's work tag. Holly. Yeah, I says, looking around. This hallway is decorated with her guts. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Okay, Dixon says with a wink. I'm half convinced. Get it? And I know where this son of a bitch is going to strike next because of the clue outside. The North Pole. Well, I know it's your hometown, but it's still a little outside our jurisdiction. No, the strip club in Uptown Village. Triple Dick puts his head down to think. Well, it was 3 jingle bells. What? I say, confused. At the first crime scene, it was 3 jingle bells. It was jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, and then the rock that was used to smash his head in. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Dixon looks around. For a split second, he looks almost disgusted by the scene. So what about this? You believe whoever did this deserves forgiveness? Everybody deserves forgiveness, I say as I start for the exit. I just gotta make sure this fucker is behind bars where he can't do anything like this again. I spit for emphasis and to show Triple Dick that I'm lenient, and I may say it all the time, but I ain't no hoe. Wait, you don't need backup? Nah, I have a feeling this is gonna be a reunion with an old friend. Uptown Village is a handshake of cultures all fighting for their slice of the pie. You got a beaten down Somali community next to the ghetto and elderly retirees and $1 million houses down the street. And right smack dab in the middle is the North Pole, a neon-lit den where paychecks disappear faster than snow in July. Unlike my hometown, though, it's not all gumdrops and lollipops, unless those are the girls' names and it's prefaced with coming to the stage. The vibe inside is charged but twisted, full of lonely men and women with fake smiles, but the lonely look more scared and the fake smiles on the girls look even more coerced. The air is heavy with the volatile excitement of a wife playing DJ Hero with her clit in front of a man she just picked up at the bar. She knows her husband is coming home from work, he doesn't. In other words, felt like I was walking into a trap. I sit down at a table facing an ugly fucker who looked like he just ate the ass end out of a goat. His long pointed tongue could hardly stand his giant mouth, and the horns on his head would make the devil rethink his entire look. Krampus, I say. What's the matter, run out of kids to put in sacks? I think I got an extra naughty list in the car if you need it. His tongue wraps around a shot glass and throws some bourbon into his throat with no hands. I see you've got my Christmas card, he says. I level my 29 at his crotch underneath the table and say, I did. Surprised you figured it out that quick. You forget, I was always the smart one. For example, I don't know or care what else you're planning, but it doesn't matter. I got a flamethrower aimed at your balls. If you don't want your chestnuts roasted over an open fire, I'd suggest you come with me. What? Says he. Before the headliner? Nah, you're gonna want to see this. The lights hit the center platform and the DJ says, Coming next to the stage, all the way from the North Pole, Mrs. I turn around and my heart drops into my ass. My wife is strapped with a vest full of C4. I turn back and see Krampus has his claws wrapped around the detonator. You son of a bitch. Why? Why? Because we were supposed to be partners. Two sides of the same coin. I was supposed to deliver punishment so you didn't have to get your fat, fucking jolly hands dirty. But it turns out kids don't like getting their ass beat with birch rods. So every time people told their magical stories of old Saint Nick, you got more and more prosperous. You had no trouble getting that loan, starting that toy business, becoming the most famous CEO on the planet next to Trump. Meanwhile, With every scary story they told about me, I inherited the other side of that magic. Over the years, they portrayed me worse and worse, and I got uglier and uglier. Nobody wants to do business with a monster. I'm out of work, I'm down to my last dime, no wife, no elves, just a body full of black fur and a face that will make Freddy Krueger throw up in his fucking mouth. Krampus didn't want an apology. He just wanted me to feel his pain. He didn't understand that if he took away the love of my life, he would make me something far worse than he. I could tell by his eyes that he was done with everything. Done talking, done living. And he wasn't going to let me say another word. As he started to press the button, I aimed my gun at his finger, but it was too late. The blast obliterated everything in that sad joint in a second. Krampus's suffering ended. There was nothing left of Mrs. Claus. Unfortunately, though, I survived. I climbed from the rubble and stood over the decimated remnants of my world, my skin still smoking like a pig on a spit. I had no time to mourn. Besides, what would be the use? Krampus had taken everything from me, including my chance at revenge. I walked off into the night and left everything behind me, including my soul. Santa Claus was dead. I realized then that I had been too lenient. I should have kept tabs on Krampus. I should have been watching. I should have strangled that son of a goat fucker with his own tail as soon as somebody so much as sneezed without him saying bless you. I learned my lesson. This town doesn't need a rosy-cheeked, magical fat man. This city needs a reckoning. The lost souls need to be found and immediately held accountable. Punishment for the naughty should be quick and severe. So that's what will happen from now on. Santa Claus is dead. All that's left is Kris Kringle. So I'll become the all-seeing eye of justice in the night. I'm gonna find out. And when I do, I'll bring the fury of 1,000 winters down on the heads of those of you who cry or pout. I'll be watching. I'll see you when you're sleeping. I'll know when you're awake. I'll know when you've been bad or good, so be good. Or may God have mercy on your soul.